you? I'm hoping you're having a great early summer. So, you probably already know that Children's Day is coming up. So, this is a special Six Apple session that we're going to talk about the Children's Day and all the holidays that the little ones love. So if you have happened to join some of the previous sessions between Six Apple and the Lingo Bus, you probably know that I am all about talking about intercultural communication and cultural differences and how this culture and the communication interact each other. So today, mainly, we're going to talk about Children's Day, and then we will tap on how children celebrate Halloween, Christmas, Chinese New Year, and the Lantern Festival. So culture and holidays. Well, first, the definition of culture. Culture is a shared pattern of thoughts that distinguishes a group of people from another group. It is the programming of your mind. It helps to identify, to help you to act in a certain way that's culturally appropriate. Appropriate. Yep. And culture can be divided into two categories: surface culture and deep culture. Surface culture is much easier for people to understand. For example, if you come to Japan, you try some sushi and sashimi, you celebrate the local festivals, you even joined a show by the traditional geisha. You listen to their music, watch the comic. This is the surface culture. Even try on kimono. This is something that you can experience in a week or two. You can observe them easily. But under surface culture lays the foundation of the entire culture. It's called the deep culture. It has something to do with your value, your attitude toward the elderly, your rules, your superiors, also your concepts in terms of time, yourself, a lot of things. For example, when I was in Miami, we always jokingly say, "Hey, John is running on Miami or on Cuban time." This reflects a difference in people's concept of time. When we're saying someone is running on Cuban time, it means they are more lenient about what o'clock they have to be somewhere. For example, in most Western cultures, being 5 minutes late is okay. However, if you come to China, sometimes as long as you're within 15 minutes of the appointment time, it's still doable. So that's a difference in terms of time. How does communication and culture influence each other? As we know, teachers are like the ambassador of the Western culture. You are talking to kids all the time, and at the same time, you are learning a whole lot about Chinese culture. So, communication and the culture they shape each other. Communication shape culture, and the culture can shape communication. Same with holidays. People learn about other people's holidays and they sometimes just borrow the holidays because it looks fun, or sometimes because they begin to accept a new idea and they will begin to celebrate these holidays. So let's take a look at Children's Day. Children's Day is on June 1st. A little bit of history. It's actually a very sad history. So there's a small city called the Legacy in Czech. On June 10, 1942, just all of a sudden, Nazis showed up in that small village. They chased everyone out of their home into the town center, and people are separated. Male over 16 years old are separated in one group, and everybody else in another group. While all the male were murdered, all the women and children were sent off to the concentration camp. Then all the children were inspected, and those with area features got sent to a German foster home. Only 8 out of 88 kids taken away survived. The rest of them were murdered in concentration camp. And after all of this were done, German Nazi they just bombed the town of Legacy into ground. And now the city was never rebuilt. So it was such a terrible incident. The entire international community was surprised and enraged, so immediately several towns actually changed their name to Legacy so that no one will forget this terrible history. In November 1949, Women's International Democratic Federation announced that June 1st would be Children's Day. And the Chinese government adopted June 1st to be Children's Day on December 23rd, 1949, replacing the original Children's Day on April 4th. So right now, all the kids under 14 years old would celebrate this holiday. So how do kids usually celebrate Children's Day? Usually children get like half a day off or a whole day off, and back in 90s, families with one child even get a special stipend on this day. Usually the school will have special school event, and after the event, the half day or whole day, kids would have it off. Parks in the malls usually have discounts or sales for children. So I actually got just a sales message from Toys R Us that they are giving out coupons, so we can buy toys for our little ones. Parents often bring children to have fun to amusement parks. In 2020, this year, if kids go to Forbidden City on Children's Day, kids enter for free and they accompany parents going for half off. And parents usually prepare small gifts for the children. And this is last year in VIPKid. We celebrated Children's Day. It's like a take your kids to work day. So I got to bring my little one to work. He's right here. We set up like a fun game room. All the kids got there. They can make cookies and then play in the ball pit. There were also slides, and everybody got like a small gift to take home. And also, the company sent a card to employees with children. So that was really fun, and that's how VIPKid celebrated Children's Day last year. So, how to bring Children's Day in VIPKid's classroom? Well, it's always a fun topic. You always ask, how did you celebrate Children's Day? What gift would you like to get? Did your family do anything special during the day off? What about the school? Anything cool going on there? Or if the kids is gonna go to any parties? And extra reward is always great, especially if the reward is themed around Children's Day. I actually found these pictures on Instagram, so there's a lot of cutout that you can use. So food, like cake, ice cream, pops are always awesome. Images of a gift, amusement park rides are always cool. And as you may aware, that we actually sent out a survey to collect the teacher's idea. So a lot of several of the things that teacher mentioned that I think would be cool would be, you know, have like a fun holiday hat or special clothes. You have like special classroom background or discussion about culture and traditions for student. Or a lot of kids might like this, reversing the roles of teacher and student. So teacher get to be the student and student get to be teacher. And a lot of kids would be really excited by this idea. Well, we've talked quite some about Children's Day. There are other fun holidays that children like. Halloween and Christmas are two important holidays. Chinese New Year and Lantern Festivals are another two holidays that traditionally kids like. So, like we were talking about earlier, communication between the East and the West allowed kids to know, oh, there are these fun holidays, so why not, have fun and celebrate them? So for Halloween, usually it's a classroom celebration, especially for schools with Western teachers. The teacher would usually take that class, English class, to celebrate Halloween or have a class party where kids get to dress up. And because the older generations don't usually celebrate Halloween, so trick or treating are usually done with teachers by going from classroom to classroom. Now, Christmas, when Christmas comes to China, it's less about the religion, but more about this romantic atmosphere of the lights and the love and gift giving. So a lot of people would exchange small gifts with their friend, and because Christmas Eve is called a 平安夜, and the apple is called a 苹果. So recent years, there's these fancily wrapped apples with Santa's head on it, Santa's image on it that says Merry Christmas. So many people would actually give Christmas apple. It's just like a new tradition. And also kids would exchange Christmas cards with their friends. It's always like a bragging right if you get a lot of cards. Now, Chinese New Year is my personal favorite because absolutely no schoolwork, no work whatsoever. On that day, you really wake up to new clothes. You typically wear something that's red and you go to say Happy New Year to your parents or your grandparents. You get red envelopes filled with money. It's always great. And lastly is the Lantern Festival. Lantern Festival marks the last day of official Chinese New Year. And that's a night where kids usually light up their lanterns. They would go out at night and they'd go to parks and appreciate lantern shows. And did you know that the Lantern Festival is the traditional Chinese Lovers' Day? So it could be really romantic. But yes, that's everything I have to share about Children's Day and all the holidays that little ones love. Thank you so much, and thank you for your continued attention to Six Apple. Have a good day. Bye bye.